So, you're a lonely piece of shit. You go to school and you see all of these different people, smiling at each other, having conversations, just generally having a good time. Whilst you were always the one guy who would awkwardly sit in the corner of the classroom just because he had nobody to talk to. And the craziest part about all of this is that even if you were to get into a conversation with these guys, it would never really stick. You would always have different interests, you would always have different hobbies, even your habits were different really. So even though you had people around you, you still felt like you don't belong, you still felt left out. So you can see how, in a weird way, the number of people you surround yourself with doesn't actually influence how lonely you feel. Because if it did, then I could have placed you in the exact same room of students from the beginning of the video, and guess what? You would have felt satisfied. Yeah, here you are seeking for answers on the internet. But the thing with loneliness is that it doesn't originate from how many people you have around you, but rather it's about how you actually feel around those people. It's about the warmth that these people provide. Because let me tell you something, the annoying thing with stuff like loneliness and bad mental health is that the more you think about it, and the more you actually indulge in the thought of, oh yeah, I'm so fucking lonely, the more you're actually going to feel lonely, because your brain is an organ. Your emotions and your thoughts are not you. You are not your thoughts. And I'm going to prove that to you right fucking now for the rest of this video. And I really want you to focus here. You can think about whatever you want. Just do not think about an orange cat. I'm being dead ass serious. For the next 10 seconds or so, you can think about whatever you want. Just do not think about an orange cat. Guess what's gonna happen? Even though you are forcing yourself to think about anything but an orange cat, that's the only thing that's inside of your mind. And that proves that you are not your thoughts. This shows you that the more you indulge in those negative thoughts you have in the back of your head, the more control you are giving them. So whilst you can't really force yourself to not think about those things, what you can do, my friend, is you can distract yourself from this negative thought. It's kind of like replacing it. Instead of thinking about loneliness, you can put yourself in situations where you're not thinking about loneliness, where your mind is focused on something else. This is why a lot of people say that they like their own company. Because when people are on their own, they're able to focus on the things that they want to do. If you feel like shit right now, if you feel like you're fucking lonely, and you were to I don't fucking know, do something that you genuinely love, you would be surprised at how quickly you actually disappear, how quickly that thought disappears. Fuck, you'd be surprised how much it easy is. That's not a proper sentence. How easy it is to get rid of those negative thoughts. It's just a matter of not sitting there and thinking to yourself, I'm lonely, bro. Oh my God. Okay, I shouldn't make fun of you. It's not about indulging in those thoughts, because the more you're going to overthink it, the more power you're actually going to give that thought. So you need to find a way to stop thinking about it and think about something else. How do you do that? How do you do that, Shredder? I mean, come on. I've been lonely for so fucking long, and now you're telling me to not look for any friends? No. Because you're lonely, I'm not giving you an excuse to not go out of your way and meet new people. Absolutely fucking not. When you increase the amount of people you surround yourself with, not even just surround yourself with, really, when you increase the number of people in your life, you're able to filter out the negative people, and you're able to pick out the good ones. It sounds so annoying, doesn't it? But when you increase the funnel of people that are coming in, you're more likely to find valuable people that will actually make your life better. Let's say, imagine another scenario, because I love explaining stuff with analogies. Imagine the two of us are farmers. We're farmers, and we have 10 apple trees to cut down and grab the apples from. Out of all of these apples, let's assume that most of them are dirty, they're a little bit bitten, some bug came in and he bit into the apple and now you can't eat it. But you're still gonna find the ones that are actually very tasty, that have a shit ton of juice inside of them, that are just very, very tasty. And if most of the trees on the apple tree are poison, poison's a whack word, but if out of all of the apples you find, only a few of them are actually red, beautiful, tasty, then the way you do that is you increase the amount of trees you have. That way you're gonna get more apple trees. And this is a stupid analogy that I've just stuttered like 20 times while I was trying to explain it to you, but you should still go out of your way to meet new people. You can't just sit there and use what I've said earlier as an excuse to not look for new people. You need to constantly develop yourself and your social skills. That's how you make meeting new people like 10 times easier. I honestly feel like at times it's actually okay to be alone, but you need to tell the difference between being lonely and being alone, because being alone, it's good for when you have to, do your work, because oftentimes people actually spend too much time around other people. So when they come back and they're just by themselves, they just feel odd. It's almost as if they became addicted to the other people's validation. But this is the thing that I just said earlier. You need to learn how to be by yourself as well. Because as I just said, you can be on your own and still feel fulfilled, still feel not lonely. Loneliness isn't something that constantly haunts you all the time. It is when you let it. As I just said as well, fuck. If you're gonna let it sit in your mind and it's just gonna keep lingering there, of course it's gonna take control over you. But if you're able to actually use the time when you're at yourself properly, purposefully, mindfully, it makes a drastic, I don't know why I repeated that word 3 times, but I really want this to drill into your mind. You can be alone and not be lonely, but you should still seek finding people that are actually going to fulfill you as a human being, because we are tribal human beings. We as humans, we are born as tribal animals. I don't know if that's a good way to call it, but you get where I'm going with this. We're supposed to live in groups. So when you're just outcasting yourself from the other people just because you lack social skills to actually go out of your way to meet new people, you're gonna do yourself a lot of fucking harm, my friend. So make sure that you learn how to be by yourself whilst also constantly trying to meet new people. Don't just hang around with anybody. As I just said way back at the beginning of the video, don't just hang around with whoever, because that feeling of loneliness is still going to follow. You need to find somebody who's genuinely going to put you in that social flow state when you speak to them, because that's when you find the most pleasure in life. It is when you are present, not when you are sitting there, overthinking every single possible scenario of what could happen in the conversation. No. It is when you are fully present in the moment and there are 0 thoughts inside of your brain. That is when you feel the most fulfillment. If you found value in this and the fucking Minecraft music in the intro was annoying to you, then I really hope you should join my Discord server. This is the place for you to become the best version of yourself and find some high value people. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You can click all the buttons if you want to. I mean, you can tell by the way I speak that when I'm not stuttering, at least I actually know what I'm talking about. So yeah, hopefully you found value in this one, and I'll see you in the next one, brother. Take care, man.